It's a tragedy tailor-made for the hip-hop era. Only this script is 400 years old, just recently freshened up with a modern touch.
We've been told stories since we were little kids in rhyme all the time, so rhyming is actually an entry point for most people, I think.
Today's venue is no Carnegie Hall, but it is the largest single-site jail in the country, where 500 Chicago inmates are experiencing Shakespeare's Othello, the remix.
I think it's a lot of it is about miscommunication and poor choices and repercussions, and I think those are all things that are probably good to be thinking about.
The show is the brainchild of the Q brothers, JQ and GQ, who first opened their hip-hopera in London last year. Using deep bass and rhythmic rap, the audience follows MC Othello as he escapes the ghetto and rises in the music industry.
It may seem curious to bring Othello, a story about pride, jealousy, and manipulation that ends in murder, here to the jail. But it turns out this just might be the target audience.
I think a lot of them learn that they have a better opportunity to come out of this situation and be able to rebuild their lives.
Inmates weren't given much of a preface on the plot, but in the end, it managed to hit close to home.
I can relate to that in my life, you know. I had people who tried to turn me against somebody who I thought was good for me, and they were good for me, but I let somebody else persuade me into doing, them wrong.
You need to focus on what you're doing and make sure to think before you react. Otherwise, catastrophic events can happen.
Having performed all over the world, this is the first true captive audience for the Q brothers, one they don't judge and hope they've been able to help.
Everyone deserves a chance to make a new life for themselves, and so the end of the play kind of perfectly says why we're here.
Yeah, we didn't really realize sort of how that line would resonate until we were doing it, and then you're like, well, that means something different today than it's ever meant.
A moment of triumph over tragedy. That's exactly what this art is all about. Quraishi, Al Jazeera, Chicago.